Hey there, if you're watching this, you've probably been staring at a tiny ice tray that never seems to keep up with your next party. Or maybe you're the type who wants a reliable source of ice for a busy kitchen without having to stare at a freezer door all day. The real question is, can you find a countertop ice maker that actually feels like a permanent part of your routine, is simple enough that you won't waste an hour a week on maintenance, and won't break the bank? If that sounds like you, keep listening. You're about to get the lowdown on a unit that's been sitting on a lot of shelf space and a lot of curiosity. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the hesitation most shoppers feel with any countertop ice maker. You've probably seen those sleek machines on kitchen shows, promising up to 12 pounds of ice per day, but the reality is that most of us need ice for everyday drinks, occasional gatherings, and sometimes for medical or craft purposes. The biggest risk is ending up with a machine that sounds impressive on paper but turns out to be noisy, leaks water, or demands a lot of countertop real estate for a handful of extra cubes. The Scotsman HID312A Meridian tries to solve those pain points by offering an air-cooled system that eliminates the need for a water reservoir pump, which means fewer moving parts that could fail. It also comes with a built-in water dispenser, so you can get a glass of water while the ice is churning, and a 12-pound bin that sits right on top of the machine, making the whole unit compact enough for a kitchen bar, office break room, or even a small RV. Who should buy this? If you're a small to medium household that drinks a few glasses of iced coffee, cocktails, or smoothies daily, the Meridian's 12 pounds bin capacity will keep you stocked for a couple of days without the need to constantly refill it. It's also a decent pick for small offices that need a consistent supply of ice for meetings or for a cafe that serves cold drinks in limited volume. The fact that the machine is air-cooled means it doesn't need a separate water line, so it works anywhere you have a standard outlet. On the other side of the equation, if you run a high-volume bar that needs dozens of pounds of ice every hour, a commercial-grade unit would be more appropriate. Likewise, if you're looking for a built-in solution that slides under a countertop and feeds a built-in dispenser, this machine might feel a bit too standalone. In short, the sweet spot is low to moderate demand with a bit of countertop space to spare. Now, let's dive into the practical strengths. The first thing you'll notice when you plug the Meridian in is how quickly it starts producing ice. Within about 15 minutes you'll have the first batch of clear, cube-shaped ice that actually looks like it was pulled from a professional freezer. That speed translates into less waiting time on a hot day when you're trying to make iced tea for a crowd. Because the unit is air-cooled, you also won't hear the constant whir of a water pump. The most common complaint about many countertop models is the humming or rattling of a pump system. The Meridian's design keeps the sound mostly limited to a low-level fan that's easy to ignore in a kitchen environment. The built-in water dispenser is another practical win. You can fill a glass of water while the ice is still forming, meaning you don't have to run to the sink for a glass of water during a busy brunch. The dispenser is a simple push-button operation, no complicated settings, just a straightforward press and pour. For anyone who values a streamlined workflow, that makes the unit feel like an extension of your countertop rather than an extra gadget to juggle. A key hidden trade-off, however, is the placement of the ice bin on top of the machine. While this design keeps the footprint small, it does require you to lift the bin to empty it, which can be a bit of a chore if you're dealing with a full 12-pound load. Most users will probably empty it after a day or two, so the lifting isn't a daily inconvenience, but it's something to keep in mind if you have limited arm strength or if you prefer a bottom draw bin that slides out. The unit also relies on a separate water pitcher that you have to fill manually, meaning you'll need to remember to keep that reservoir topped up. That's not a huge issue for most, but it's a step that adds a little extra routine compared with a direct line model. In terms of everyday usability, the Meridian's control panel is dead simple: a single button to start the cycle, an indicator light that tells you when the bin is full, and another light for the water dispenser. There are no menus to navigate or temperature settings to adjust. You just press once and the machine does the